So we're ready to draw something a bit more interesting, a bit more difficult. This is a great idea that you can integrate into some of your designs. And this is a built-in hinge or a built-in swivel. So we're going to make a swiveling webcam cover. Got my pencil. I've got rid of the guy and I've been into info and I've made this. We're going to need this today, the fractions of a millimeter. First of all, I'm going to draw a 20 millimeter line on the red axis. I'm then going to go to the green axis, there's green, and I'm going to go 10 millimeters that way, come back 20 and back there. So I've got a 20 by 10 rectangle. Right, half of this rectangle is going to be the swivel I'm going to create. Now I've halved the rectangle into two squares. This first square needs to be raised, and I'm going to raise this up, and I'm going to raise it up 0.5 of a millimeter, so half a millimeter. Now on top of that half millimeter, we're just going to ignore this side for the moment. On this half millimeter here, we're going to raise a circle. So I need to draw a circle, or raise a column basically. Going to draw across there, go get my circle. Remember, if circle's not showing, look inside the tools. Midpoint, circle to the edge is 5 millimeters. I want to have 3 millimeters here. So this is going to be the center of my hinge, and this part's going to revolve around that hinge. I need to use the rubber, rub these parts out. We're now going to bring this up another, or to the top really, which is going to be about 1.5 millimeters. So let's raise this 1.5. So now from half a millimeter, 1.5, I've got 2 millimeter height to my webcam cover. The next thing I need is I need the top to be wider. So basically, we're going to use offset, and we'll create some air gaps. We're looking at 0.4 of a millimeter as an air gap, and that's because the printer extruder extrudes at 0.4. Let me just get offset on while I'm telling you this, because we're going to go here, I'm going to go to offset. What offset does is it lets me take an offset from an edge. So I need a 0.4, just type that in, offset. That's the same width as the nozzle on your printer probably. If your printer nozzle is 0.3, then it'll be 0.3 there. If it's a 0.5, 0.5, but standard nozzles are 0.4. So that will allow a gap so the extruder won't stick to the edges too much. It'll be a little bit sticky, you'll have to crack it open, but it'll be okay. So now this air gap is going to flow around. So the base piece here is going to be within that air gap in a minute. Now this at the moment is touching that air gap. So we're going to be a bit sneaky. I'm going to, oh that's not the, let's press the escape. If you click something and it starts doing something, if you press undo, Control Z or escape, it'll stop doing it. I want to highlight that, Control C, copy, Control V, paste, and take it over there. Just put it over there for a minute. I need to create an air gap now of 0.3 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a line, I'm going to draw a line up on the blue axis, let go of everything. I said 0.3, I meant 0.4. 0.4, I've now got 0.4 mil there. Press escape, gets rid of the line. I want to put that into that air gap there. So here we go. I'm going to move tool, take this corner, and I'm going to take it and put it there. I've now got an air gap of 0.4 because of that line I drew. It's going to take the line out. Just be careful doing that, we don't want to lose it. And now we're going to look at raising this to create that hinge. Now at the moment I'm at 0.4, so I can take this up a millimeter. Well, actually I'll take it up level to the top because we can sort the top out in a second. So I'm going to take this up level to the top. I did that by just hovering over the face, so it will take it level with that face. So that's now level in there. Now I need another offset because I need this bit to overlap, or this is just going to fall off, isn't it? So let's create another circle. That's why we started with 3 mil. So let's go to our offset again, and you can see how powerful offset is here. Now offset, hold on, let me do it from this point here and make it easier. So offset to there is 1.59. I'm just going to have an offset of 1. So that's going to leave me some space around the edge. And then with my pencil, let's measure the thickness. I should have a thickness here of 1.10. So I'm going to take this down 0.5, but with an extra bit of air gap. So I'm going to take it down 0.9. So it's 5 plus the 0.5 air gap. So let's take our move into off. So see that's selected there. See, I was wondering why my tool wasn't, but this has managed to select itself. So I need to click select away. Let's try again. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Pull down 0.9, enter. Right, so I'm just going to hide a side now just to look inside. You don't need to do this, but if I just do hide, you can see now there's a bit of a, there's still quite a lot of model in there, so there'll be enough thickness to hold this together. Back to the glasses, unhide all. Let's get on with the show. So now I've got this recessed air gap, but I need this part to be wider to come in to fill this. Now we're going to use offset again. So I'm going to just make sure nothing's just clicked. Hang on. Pointy arrow, click, and then use my offset. There you are. I'm going to take this offset, and from there to there is 1.39. Right, we need a 1.4. 0.39 is fine, so I'm just going to go to a 1 mil, and that's going to give me the air gap there. Then I need to take this down to the bottom, and again I need to know what's there. So I'm going to do some hiding now just so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go to this point here, right click, hide, right click, hide. So now I can see what I want to pull down. Go to my push pull tool, and if I bring that all the way to the face, that's 0.9, but I want a 0.4 air gap, so I'm going to go for 0.5. 9 take away 4 is 5. And now I can see if I unhide all my parts, I've actually got a recessed thing in there. I don't need that line at the top, so I can get rid of that line. I don't need that original line down here I created, so I can get rid of that. So now I've got a top which will swivel around this pillar or the hinge, the pivot, whatever you want to call it here. And I need to make the piece that's going to cover the webcam. So I'm going to use my push pull, and I'm going to push pull to there. And then to make it look a bit prettier, I'm going to cover over that part there. You can, if you notice here, the bottom has disappeared. So what I'm going to do is just going to get a line and just join this corner to corner. You can join it side to side and just rub that line back out. And that's giving me that line back again. I'm just going to check for any grey bits. No grey areas, so we're okay. There's no reversed corners or sides. So we know, so let's just get rid of this bottom thing because that was my guide to start with. Let's get rid of that. So we know that from there to there is 10 millimeters, and that's going to crash into that at 10 millimeters, isn't it? So what I need to do is create a bit of a curve, and then from that curve I can sort of make an offset as well. So I need to have another offset inside here, and I'm going to offset. The easiest way to do it actually is just going to be by hiding this. So I'm going to right click hide, right click hide. I might even just hide that face as well. I've left the lines there so I know that they're there. I want to get that line there and offset it to here to make a curve. You'll see what I mean. So let's go and get the offset tool, pick that line up, but I need to pick it up at quite at the furthest edge and bring it to there. That's going to give me this offset. I click there. That's now offset quite nicely for me. Now, if I've done it well, it'll allow me to remove these chunks. I'm just going to tidy this up now with the rubber, so or eraser, depending what you think, or what you call it. There we go. And I just need to fill this back corner back in again. So just draw a line anywhere there, will fill in, and it looks like I lost a bit at the bottom. Yeah, I did. A line to there. Right, now I don't need that line, that line, that line. And I don't need that line there. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. Right, I'm just going to get everything off. So click on the glasses, unhide all. So now I've got a curve for the base, so it'll allow rotation. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a little bit sneaky. I'm going to use that placement again by highlighting. I've clicked to highlight there. I'm going to control copy and paste. I'm then going to take that. Well, actually, what I will do first, I don't actually need to do this, but I'll do it just for a demonstration. I'm going to take that off, so I've just got the line. I'm going to take a triple click to highlight to select all, or I could draw a box around it to select it all. I'm going to click on the move tool and grab that corner there. Oh, I don't know if we grab the corner. Let's try again. Grab the corner. Yeah. And I'm going to take that corner to this corner. That has now laid the exact shape of that. But I need an air gap. Now I need a bigger air gap this time because I don't want this to be really, really close. I need it to have a bit of space really. So I'm looking at the base here swinging up over the top of this. So let's take a line from there straight out to there. So if you imagine that's going to sit on that curve, if I take my rubber and remove that line there, oh it's going to do in segments, let's get them all. This is touching at the moment. So the idea, what I'm going to do is basically grab this and bring it down like so, and you're going to have a nice little sweep, but it's too close, it'll stick. So let's just escape and do that. We need to use the offset tool again to create a bit more of a line, but the offset tool, when we use this, is going to offset the whole border. You'll see what I mean. So if I offset that, see here we've got like the whole border. That's not a problem, but we need a decent gap here. 0.5. There we go. I'm going to draw a line there. I've got to remember this is going to be underneath, so it's not going to be seen really. And I'm going to put that. I'll put that over there. In fact, I won't do that because that might catch on the back end over here. So I'll do this instead. Right, now I'm going to take away, missed. I'm going to take away that line, and that line, and I don't need that line there anymore. And then I'm going to pull this, oh, there's a big line there as well, I don't need that line there. Going to get hold of this, and then go level with the base. And it's dropped the line there. Oh, it does need that line there. Doesn't look like it needs that line either, but it might want it. It does. So I'll just leave it there. Right, we've now got our pivot. So what should happen is when we print this out, we should get the ability to lift this up and put it back again. But this hinge will hold itself. Let's get it on the printer and find out. So I'm just going to save that. I'm going to purge to get rid of any of the additional bits. Let's just have a quick look inside actually before we do. Hide the top. No, there's no additional lines that we didn't need. Great. Glasses. Unhide all. Right, let's take an STL. Download STL. And we'll take that STL over to the slicer.